Okay, I'm live, but we're not actually starting just yet, folks. Welcome along to all you are. I'm pretty disorganized, as my wife will attest. Right, I'm going to run over here. Okay. So get us a cup of tea, Nick. Hello, everybody. We are not quite 7:30, so we can't start, but just to say hello and welcome. I hope you're all happy wherever you are, locked down. We have a great night tonight, raising money for a brilliant charity that I really am very fond of. So we'll chat about that, raise some money, have some fun, win some prizes. Okay. But we haven't actually started yet. So this is just preamble. This is all extra. Back in a second. Huh?
Do you want some Christmas music?
Yeah, a little bit of Christmas music. I've got Amy here. Amy, we will get in touch with the winners later in the week. So just to confirm, Dom. Okay, I've got okay, brilliant. Now I'm going to start. Let me just text my. So I've got. This is very technical, people. I have my friend Wendy at the charity, Deborah. She is. That's too loud. She's on WhatsApp with me. So my phone's just gone off. Deborah Christmas. Here we are. Okay. My wife's telling me to speak up. She normally tells me to shut up. She now wants to be loud. Okay. Let me know when we're good to go. Let me know when we are good to start. Please. I've got Nikki's machine here to read some stuff. Can you find me the date, Nikki, of when I put that blog up about Oliver on my, go onto my website and find out the date of the blog. Got 1 minute to go.
Why not?
No, over there's good. Can you hear that music? Can you hear Kim Wilde? Is that Kim Wilde?
Oh, it's Mariah Carey.
Oh, it's Mariah Carey. Oh, it's awful.
There you go.
That's the blog, isn't it? Okay. Okay, great. We are going to make a start. Welcome, everyone, wherever you are. Thank you very much for taking part. Can you turn it down a bit, please, Nick? Thank you very much for taking part in what is going to be a great evening. My name is Dom Holland. I've been asked by Deborah to present a quiz for them and to host an evening. And I'm delighted to do so because it's a charity that means an awful lot to me and to the Brothers Trust. And I know a lot of you are supporters of the Brothers Trust. And I'm going to have a little interlude halfway through the quiz to tell you why and how we got involved with Deborah, which will be fun. And but before we start the quiz, I'm going to take you through a little bit of housekeeping. Okay, so you can get involved. You can get involved on social media, which is now the new thing that runs all of our lives. So I want you to use the evening to raise some money and some awareness of Deborah. So the hashtag DEBRA UK Big Quiz is what you want to use, guys, for all of your social media interactions this evening. You can win a special prize for your, but you will need to use that hashtag on your social media. And we can text to donate tonight. If you don't know who Deborah is and what EB is, we are going to educate you a little bit. I'm sure a lot of you will know, but it is the most deserving charity you can imagine. And we are, as much as about entertaining you this evening, we want to try and raise some funds for Deborah. So your funds can be raised by texting in, of course. You're all familiar with this now. We text Deborah and the amount to 70450. Okay, so 70450. So for example, Deborah 5 to donate £5 or $5 wherever you are in the world, and it's to 70450. Okay. Now there's plenty of ways you can get involved. We'd like you to get involved on Twitter if you can, using the hashtag DEBRA UK Big Quiz hashtag. And if you use that, guys, and you put up your team name we're going to have a competition for the team name. Maybe put a photograph up as well. The more you put into it, guys, the more likely you are to prevail. And we're going to have a little prize at the end, a little special prize, which is a copy of my book, which I'm going to sign, and I'm going to send it to you, and I'm going to get all of the Holland boys to sign it as well. Okay, so there'll be a lovely prize. I don't know when I can get all the boys to do it, but I will get them to do it. So it'll be signed to you with your name, signed by Dom, who wrote it, and the Holland boys as well.Maybe even Nikki, if I can get her out of the kitchen. She just said that. Okay, so please do that, guys. Text away and have fun. If you see another person using the hashtag, they are on the same quiz as you, so you can have some fun with them. Interact. The more you interact, the more the hashtag will be useful, and we can create some awareness, which was what we need to do for DEBRA, because it is a disease, as pernicious as it is, scandalously, people do not know what it is, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. Okay, so there is a raffle tonight, which you're all playing for. The quiz is just for fun, guys, okay? There are right answers and wrong answers, and of course you want to try and do well, but it is about taking part. You've already done that by paying your entrance fee and being here this evening, and I am delighted. I think we've got 800 people around the world. You're all very, very welcome. I wish you could be here in person, but we can't do that. But it is great you're here, so thank you for that. But we are also winning a prize, and it's going to be a raffle, guys. And we're going to draw 2 winning tickets. There's a consolation prize, which is another Dominic Holland book. My garage is full of these, but they are not all signed by the boys. Okay, so it's going to be a nice prize for the second number that's drawn. But the first number drawn is winning the big prize, which is why you're all here, which is the opportunity to try, or not to try, but to come along and meet Tom at a screening. Okay, now, obviously with COVID, we're not entirely sure when that screening will be, but there's lots of movies that Tom has made, and they are due for release. They're big films. They will have their own little events, and if there isn't a big red carpet event, then we'll do our own for the Brothers Trust, and you will be welcome to come along with your, I think it's, I don't know how many tickets it is. It's 2 tickets. 2 tickets to come along. You'll meet Tom. You'll have a photograph taken with Tom. Nikki will take a photograph of you. You'll probably get one of these. But anyway, of course, that's going to be great fun. We're going to do that at the end of the whole quiz. Okay, so it should take about an hour, okay, maybe longer. I'm happy to be here for longer. I have nowhere to go. I've not got a gig until, I haven't actually got any gigs at all, ever anymore because of COVID. So I'm around. We are going to have a little break after maybe half the quiz for you guys to refresh your glasses, get a cup of tea if you're from England or Britain, and then I'm going to explain to you how I found out about DEBRA. Okay, so it's a nice little story. I wrote a blog about it, which is a little long, I feel, so I'm going to paraphrase that, see that for you. Just explain to you how it was that I came across DEBRA and how the Brothers Trust has become a mainstay of our endeavors. Okay, so I think I've covered everything. Just to remind you guys, hashtag DEBRA UK Big Quiz. Please do use your Instagram and Twitter handles and what have you. Do that. Put your names up there. Tag your friends and Charity DEBRA at Charity DEBRA to tag people. Okay, so at Charity DEBRA. And I think that's about right. So I've got an email here from my bosses at the charity. They're telling me what to do. I think we're ready to start. Okay, so we're about 10 minutes in. As I say, guys, a bit of fun, okay? There's no hard questions or terribly hard questions. You can Google all of these. I would encourage you not to. Just have some fun, confer with your friends, and I'll give you the answers after probably every second round. We'll go back and do the answers. So without further ado, welcome to the big Christmas DEBRA quiz. The first round is entitled Tom Holland. Okay, not my brother Tom, who none of you have ever heard of, but my son Tom, who you've all heard of. And the first question couldn't be easier, but I'm going to start with an easy question. Made in 2012 and set during the 2004 tsunami, what is the name of Tom's first feature film? Okay, so that's a very easy question. It's actually on Netflix now. You should be able to get that. If you don't get that, you may as well just shut your machine and go for a dog walk, because that's easy. So what's the name of Tom's first movie? Question number 2. Another Tom question. What did Tom get in his maths GCSE? No. Tom voiced Jip in the 2020 film Doolittle. Okay. What sort of animal is Jip? So if you've seen that movie, Tom was in that film as his voice only. And what was the animal that he voiced? Okay. And a very difficult question to round off this very, very hard round at the beginning. What was Tom's first West End stage role? Or I could ask you, what was Tom's only West End stage role? So Tom started off in acting. If you followed his career, I know some of you probably have. He started off in a play in London. And what was that play called? And what was the role that Tom played in that play? Okay, so they're the first three questions. Okay, all nice and easy, very relaxed. Okay, I don't know when to continue. We should have those just immediately, I would hope. Okay, so we're now going to move on to a round called Brothers. Okay, so the Brothers Trust is really our charity. Nikki, my wife, had the idea. We were deliberating on the name for the trust. Clearly, it's all, born out of Tom's fame, but we didn't want to call it the Dom Holland Foundation for a number of reasons, really. It sounded a little bit mawkish, but we wanted to do something a bit broader than that. And so Nikki came up with the idea of the Brothers Trust, because there are 4 boys in the family. I thought it's a great idea. And what we do at the Brothers Trust is we raise money, then we give it to charities like DEBRA. So we can raise money through Tom's fame and then disseminate the money to people who we think are very worthy. Okay, so the round is called Brothers. Name the band with the following brothers in them. Okay, Jackie, Randy, Marlon. That's the first 3. Jackie, Randy, Marlon, but they don't make up the band entirely. I'll now give you Jermaine and Tito. And finally, making up this band, Michael. Do you know?
Yes.
Yeah, even Nikki knows, okay. Nikki's not a muso, so Nikki knows. By the way, I'm wearing my DEBRA. You can't see that, can you? Move that down. This is the DEBRA logo. They have a butterfly logo, so I'll explain to you. It's a skin disease, guys, and there's a reason why it's the butterfly. Okay, so Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Randy, Marlon, and Michael make up which famous singing duo? That's the question number 1. Number 2, more difficult. Caleb, Nathan, and Jared are which band? Nikki? Nikki hasn't got a clue. So Nikki would not be winning tonight, but she doesn't need to be winning because she's Tom's mum. Okay, so Caleb, Nathan, and Jared are a famous band. Which band are they? It's probably the first oblique question for you. And thirdly, Nikki, Morris, Barry, and Robin.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Nikki knows this. She loves a boogie. Morris, Barry, and Robin make up a very famous band from, for a bonus point, it's a good question. What is the connection between this band and Dom Holland? There you go. Bonus question there. So there's 2 rounds for you guys. 2 rounds for you. Okay. And what I think I'll do now is I'm going to go to run you through those answers. Okay. So I don't know whether you're all ready, but you should be, because they're not very taxing. So the first film of Tom made was in 2012. It was called The Impossible, with Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor playing Tom's parents. So not anywhere near as good looking as his actual parents. That was called The Impossible. Okay, that movie was a fantastic thing for Tom. Totally changed his life, and I think ours as well, really, because it started this mad journey to where he is now wearing tights for a living. And then Tom was in a movie with Robert Downey Jr., a good friend of Tom's now, called Doolittle, and he was playing a dog. But we do know that dog was not as good looking as our dog, because our dog is the best looking dog in the world. Go to my Instagram, look at my dog. She's called Tess, and she is the most beautiful dog in the world. And Tom's first West End show, or only West End show to date, was William Elliot. otherwise known as Billy Elliot. Tom played Billy in that show. You should all have 3 out of 3. The brothers, of course, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Randy, Marlon, and Michael were, of course, the Jacksons, the famous Jacksons, mega famous band. And Caleb, Nathan, and Jared, you all Googled this. I know you Googled this because I would have had to Google it. Kings of Leon. Kings of Leon. Okay. And then the final in the brothers round was Morris, Barry, and Robin, of course, are the Bee Gees. Okay. Saturday Night Fever, one of the greatest soundtracks or scores to a movie ever. Now, here's the connection with Tom Holland. Okay. You probably won't, you can't Google this, guys. I'm giving you inside stuff here. This is why we're on this quiz together, because we're, you know, you're getting inside track. Nikki, do you know the connection?
Yes.
Oh, Nikki does. Okay. So, the Gibb brothers, the Morris, Barry, and Robin are from the Isle of Man. The Isle of Man is an island off the coast of England, between England and Ireland, the island of Ireland. It's about 80 miles off the coast of England. It's called the Isle of Man. It's a very mountainous, nice place, really nice place, very wet, very green. My dad was from there. My dad, so Tom's granddad, connection. There you go. Come on. Right. Now, I might get a little text now from my people, my controllers. Okay, great. So please, can I repeat? This is good. To donate texts whenever you can. So please do that, guys. Text whenever you can, or you could go to debra.org.uk. So send us a little text, and the text is, let me just find the text again for you guys. It's hashtag DEBRA UK Big Quiz. And we want you to text Deborah. Hang on, Nick. Where's the thing? I'm trying to find the text. Where's the text thing? We want you to text. The number is 704. Isn't it? Hang on.
Well, is it on this email?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Text. There you go. So text to 70450, guys, with the amount. And to Deborah. So you text to Deborah and then 5 or 3 or 5 or 10 or whatever you want to do to 70450. That'd be fantastic, guys. So hopefully you've all got your answers. We're going to carry on with the Christmas quiz, and it's the Christmas round, so very appropriate. What is the name of Will Ferrell's character in Elf? What is the name of Will Ferrell's character in Elf? Possibly the funniest Christmas film of all time. When the elf, I don't know what to call them now. Very small guy attacks Will Ferrell. The dwarf. I don't know if I can say that now. It's very funny film. So what is he called in Elf? Christmas TV favorite, The Snowman, okay, is broadcast every year since its debut in 1982. The Snowman. Who makes the introduction to the film? Okay, which famous person makes the introduction to the Snowman? Okay, that's the question number 2. Question number 3, what is the name of Anna's sister in Frozen? So Anna's sister in Frozen, not a question I would know. Nikki, do you know?
Might do.
Might do. Okay, so Anna's sister in Frozen. There are 3 questions from Christmas. So you should have 3 answers, guys, wherever you are in the world. Nikki wants me to smile.
I just want to put a post on the Brothers Trust to say.
Put a post on the Brothers Trust, Nikki, and make sure you hashtag.
Yeah.
Hashtag at Deborah Charity, debra.org.uk if you guys want to donate any money. We're going to get to why. And then the text, guys, are 70450. Anything will be gratefully received. Thank you very much indeed. So you've got 3 questions now for Christmas, which you should have sorted. We're going to go to seconds now, a round called seconds. Okay, very straightforward. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Everybody knows that. But what is the second highest mountain in the world? So everybody knows about Mount Everest. What is the second highest mountain in the world? Okay. Question number 2, because it's Christmas and it's biblical. Genesis is the first book of the Bible, but what is the second? So Genesis, not the band, the book in the Bible, was the first book of the Bible. What is the second? You can look it up. Maybe you know. Maybe you're a very devout, pious person. 3 in the round of seconds. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. What is the second? Okay, so Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Everyone knows that, right? But what is the second? What is the second planet to the sun? Okay. So I'm going to give you hashtag DEBRA charity. Hashtag DEBRA charity. Or hashtag DEBRA UK big quiz. Hashtag DEBRA charity. And it's text DEBRA to 7. I'm going to do a text now, just so you see it works. I'm going to text them now.
DEBRA UK big quiz.
Hang on. Okay, I'm going to text Deborah now. It's not working. Typical. I'm on chats. Nikki, you can do a text. Right, so we're going to go to the answers, guys. Christmas quiz, Christmas answers. What is the name of the Will Ferrell's character in Elf? It was, of course, Buddy. With who's that brilliant stand-up comedian playing his Santa Claus?
Will Ferrell?
No. Will Ferrell's boss was he was an amazing comedian. God, I'm losing my mind. It'll come to me. Extra points for that. Who played his Santa? Oh God, I can hear his material. I can't see his name. And who introduced the snowman? It was David Bowie or Bowie, however you want to pronounce that. The famous UK rock star. And the name of Anna's sister in Frozen was Elsa. Elsa. So the massive famous film called Frozen. I've never seen it, but it's called Elsa. Okay, on to the seconds. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. What is the second highest mountain in the world? It is K2. K2. Genesis is the first book of the Bible. What is the second? It is Exodus. So Genesis is the beginning. Exodus is the second book of the Bible. Okay. And third question, Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. What is the second? It is, of course, Jupiter. No, it's not. It's Venus. Venus. Okay. So there are the 3 questions there. What was the name of that? What's the number of that thing, Nick? 70456.
70450. I think. Hang on, I'm trying to find it again. 70450.
Okay, so I'm about to send a text to show you guys how to do this. 70450. I'm going to put Deborah and the amount. I'm going to put Deborah. I'm putting down £50, and that's going now to Deborah. Okay, so they've got at least £50 from the quiz, which is fantastic. Okay, so you guys can do the same. Yeah, I've done that. So you put down Deborah, you put down the amount to 70450. Okay, so I've given 50. You guys can give 5, 2, 10, whatever you guys can afford. Will be very welcome. Okay, moving on with the quiz, guys. Scales. What is measured on the following scales? What is measured on the following scales? Beaufort. The Beaufort scale. BEAUFORT. Beaufort. Number 2, Scoville. 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 And an easy one at the end, Richter. 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 So Richter. What does that measure? Okay. And then I've got a series of questions on scales. Great question coming up, guys. I'm going to give you a multiple choice. So you've got a choice of 3 answers. How long does it take for light to reach Earth from the sun? So light from the sun coming to Earth to the nearest minute. Is it 1 minute? Is it 8 minutes? Is it 19 minutes? Okay. So light from the sun to the Earth. How long does that take, guys? Next question. What is the world record for a human being to hold their breath to the nearest minute? Is it 4 minutes? Is it 14 minutes? Or 24 minutes? So a very broad Very broad discrepancy there, guys. 4 minutes, 14 minutes, or 24 minutes. We're going to have a little break after this round. I'm going to explain to you how I got to know Deborah. Next question. If you are from the United Kingdom, you have an advantage. I'm in London now, in West London. There's an orbital motorway called the M25 that circumnavigates London. How long is it? Is it 76 miles? London's a very big city. Is it 117 miles or is it 182 miles? How long is the M25? As the crow flies, so a direct link, what is the distance between Land's End, which is the bottom of the United Kingdom, to John O'Groats, which is the top of Scotland? So if you're from America, you will have no idea how small our little country is, but it feels big to us, and we're very proud of it. So how far is it from the bottom of the United Kingdom to the top of the United Kingdom, united for the moment at least? 603 miles. Is it 735 miles? Or is it 896 miles? Okay. Any football fans amongst you? This is a great question. How many clubs have played in the Premier League? How many clubs have played? So accounting for relegations and promotions and what have you, how many clubs have played in the Premier League? Is it 29? Is it 39? Or is it 49? Okay. It's a great question. Staying with football, I apologize. How many clubs have played in every season of the Premier League? So it was conceived in 1992. Was it 97? I think it was, I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. How many clubs have played in every single season? So, Man United will be one, obviously. Never been relegated. So how many clubs have played in every season of the Premier League? Is it 6? Is it 8? Or is it 10? So you get your dad to work this one out, guys. Probably going through Man United now. Arsenal is another one. There's others as well. Next question. What is the total number in a single line or a row of a regular Sudoku? So any of you puzzlers out there, Sudoku. I don't play Sudoku because it involves numbers. I don't do numbers. I do words. I can't do numbers. My brain will not allow me to do numbers. But Sudoku. What is the total number in a single line or a row of a regular Sudoku? And finally, before we have a little break, if I have one of each of the current coins of the realm of the United Kingdom, so you're in the United Kingdom and you've got one coin of each coin that we have in our realm, okay? How much do you have in total? So think of all the coins in the United Kingdom when you've been on holiday or if you live here. If you had one of each coin, and you added them together, what would the total come to? Is it A, £2.67? Is it B, £3.88? Or is it C, £5.03? So all the United Kingdom coins added together come to a total amount of money, and it's £2.67, it's £3.88, or it's £5.03. Okay. Now we're going to do the answers to this, and then we're going to go to a little break. Is that correct? I think that's what we're going to do, guys. Okay. So scales. So go back to your answer sheets for scales. Dad's still probably trying to work out the Premier League teams who've played in every single season. Okay. What is measured by the following scales? Beaufort. Nikki, any idea?
Wind.
Oh, how did you know that? Farting. Nikki has a flatulence problem. Scoville. Sorry, it's wind, by the way. Wind. I didn't know that. Did you know that, Nick? Okay, Scoville. Nikki? Scoville. What does it measure? The strength of chilies.
Oh,
I suppose that's very important. You get strong chili, because, you think of South American food, massive export for them. So strength of chilies. And Richter, of course, is Earthquakes. We all knew that one. Earthquakes. Okay. And it was an earthquake that caused the tsunami, wasn't it, in 2004? So it was a Richter scale. Okay. How long does it take for light to reach the Earth from the sun? Was it 1 minute, 8 minutes, or 19 minutes? The astronomers amongst you, it was, of course, 8 minutes. Still a very long time, isn't it? 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Here's a bizarre question with an even more bizarre answer. What is the world record for a human being, Nikki, holding their breath to the nearest minute? 4 minutes, 40 minutes, 24 minutes?
4 minutes.
Nikki says 4 minutes. The answer is 24 minutes.
No.
Let's see if we can beat that now. Anyone out there? Don't try it. Don't try it. 24 minutes. They must have oxygenated beforehand. You know, hyperventilating, hyper. You know what I mean? Breathing a load of pure oxygen. I can't imagine that was done, you know, in ordinary conditions. But it seems an inordinately long time. And that person now is thick as mints because they're brain damaged. So don't do it, guys. Do not do it. Okay. How long is the M25 that surrounds London? It is 117 miles. 117 miles. It goes past Heathrow Airport. And it goes through under the River Thames or over the River Thames. And one person famously was driving from London to Newcastle, and they drove around the M25 3 entire times. The police stopped them because they'd seen the car. They noticed the car coming around again and again. They said, "Where are you going? What are you doing?" And he said, "Well, I'm on my way to Newcastle." And even though he'd gone past Heathrow 3 times, he wasn't able to understand that he was on the he needed to get off that road. I think he must have been the same person who had held his breath for 24 minutes. At a previous event. So the other question, next question, as the crow flies from Land's End to John O'Groats, it is in fact 603 miles. That is the sum total of our little island in the North Europe, Western North Europe, and it's only 603 miles, which is probably half the size of Texas. So the Americans can't believe how small we are, but that's it. That's how big we are. In football, how many clubs have played in the Premier League? It is 49 clubs. So you got Bradford there, you got Huddersfield, you got clubs you wouldn't have imagined, more perhaps can't remember. Yeah, 49 clubs have been in the Premier League, which is a great number, really. Football, how many clubs have played in every season of the Premier League? It is only 6. I gave you 2, Man United and Arsenal. You could probably think of the others. But it's only 6 clubs have been in that league every single year. Liverpool, Everton, I'm thinking. We'll come back. What is the total number in a single line of a regular Sudoku? It is 45. 45. That means nothing to me. I've never played Sudoku, but I'll take the people who've come up with this quiz, their word for it. It's 45 is the answer. And if I have a coin, if I have one of every coin in our sterling currency of the United Kingdom, how much money do I have? I have £3 and 88 pence. £3 and 88 pence, which is option B for you all. Okay, so guys, we've done a few rounds there. Good fun. I hope you enjoyed those. Some of them more taxing than others. Deborah, I've known for a number of years. You can all go off and have a little break now. You can go off and have a cup of tea or something, but some of you will stay, hopefully, and listen to what I have to tell you, which is we are trying to obviously help Deborah this evening, and we are delighted that you're here. I get asked all the time to get involved with charities all the time, and it's impossible to come up with which charity is more worthy than the other, particularly if your friend or daughter or son is afflicted by a charity. But one year I was asked to play in a golf day. So lots of charities have golf days. And I arrived and I was happy to attend. I didn't really know who it was for. And I remember playing in the game and I asked who the charity was for. And they said it's for Deborah. And my first question was, I said, who's Deborah? I thought it was maybe a charity with someone. I said, no, Deborah means EB. And I said, well, what's EB? And I think that's a very common refrain when people are trying to promote Deborah, because it isn't a disease which is particularly well known. but it is a disease of the skin, and it's the most arresting disease that I've ever encountered. And when I went after played the game of golf, and I went into the bar where we have a meal and a raffle and an auction, and I saw a video and I saw some pictures of the kids who have EB, and I really found it very moving. And Tom wasn't at all cast as Spider-Man at this point. It was way before then. But I was very moved by what the condition was, because when you're asked to support charities and you know that people are unwell, it's very hard to associate with their illness because you haven't got it. You know they're unwell, but you can't see their condition. You can't see where their cancer is. You can't feel what their cancer is like. But we've all had a mouth ulcer. We've all cut our hands. We've all got paper cuts on our hands. And we know how painful they are. Well, EB, and the reason why DEBRA have the butterfly as their emblem, is because people with EB have no lignin in their skin, which we take for granted. We all know that skins, there are layers of skin, and they interact with each other to create our permeable, very clever organ, which is the largest organ in the body. And people with EB don't have lignin, and what happens therefore is their skin degenerates and breaks and blisters, and it's practically all over their body. And it's the most painful condition, because the only thing they can do is to salve the pain. And we know how painful paper cuts are. So imagine having them all over your body. Now, back in the day, I used to be on television, and a television director wasn't a friend of mine, but he's a man I knew and I liked. He was called Mick Thomas. He was at this golf day, and he told me that his son Oliver had EB. It didn't really register with me particularly because I hadn't met Oliver. I didn't know him. I didn't really know anything about the condition. I just know that Mick was a nice man. I liked him, and I was happy to support that day, and we bought raffle tickets and what have you. But I went home and I did some research and I looked at it, and it really affected me how hard it is for people with this condition, the pain that they endure, but also the families whose lives are severely restricted and curtailed by having to care for somebody with this very pernicious disease. And all the while this was happening, Tom was becoming more and more successful. He was in films and what have you. And we started to talk about the idea of generating a charity which we could leverage Tom's fame to create some wealth and some money and some fundraising and spread it to charities we liked. And I've never forgotten meeting Mick at that golf day, and this disease, which is congenital, you're born with it, you don't develop it, you don't catch it, you're just born with it. It's a quirk of genes. And I went back year on year to support this same golf day, and I met Mick at a subsequent event. And I'll never forget saying to Mick one day that Tom had been cast as Peter Parker, which is a huge role, as you all know. And I remember saying to Mick that we were going to help his charity. And I made him a commitment, which I don't think we've come through on yet. The Brothers Trust has given some £156,000 to the charities to date, and there's much more to come. But what I want to do really is to spread the awareness of DEBRA and the plight and to get it out there. And I made that commitment to Mick. And I wanted to follow through with that, but I still hadn't met Oliver. And here's the thing with people with EB is they don't develop as we do. I'm not a very tall man, but I've developed into as tall as I could be, because your skin is elastic, it grows with you. If you have EB, it curtails your growth. It breaks. Your digits become fused. Surgeons need to take your digits off. So you lose your fingers, your toes, you lose the ability to walk. It's excruciatingly painful. The place they go to is morphine, which is what we all know was used in the war when soldiers are injured, and that's how they sate their pain. And we had a Brothers Trust cinema screening in London. It was one of the early Spider-Man films, and we had a lot of wealthy people buying tickets to come along and see the show to raise money for the Brothers Trust, which we would then give out. And we invited, as well as the people who came along to buy tickets, we invited people who we wanted to support, which included people with EB and DEBRA. And we invited James Dunn, who's sadly passed since that time, and Oliver. and their parents. We had never met them at this point. And I must tell you, it was an incredibly chastening experience to see Ollie, because he's 31 now. And when you see him as a little baby, I'd like you to go to find my blog, which I wrote, guys, which is really this story, but I'm just pressing it down for you. In a quiet moment between now and Christmas, just go and read the blog. It's 2,000 words, take you 10 minutes to read. But there are photographs of young Oliver as a beautiful young baby meeting Princess Diana. And, he's a beautiful child with beautiful eyes. And his mum, Sarah, talks about his eyes. And now Oliver's eyes are in threat and jeopardy because the eyes are his skin as well. And he's losing his sight. And Oliver has had the most tough life because his skin's failed and his body's failed. And he has this terrible thing to endure with his parents. And when you meet him for the first time, you're not ready for it. And it's very chastening. And Nikki had to take a photograph of Tom and Oliver. And that photograph's on the blog. You'll see the photograph and you'll see Oliver is 10 years older than Tom, but he's half the size. And it's just very tough to watch. But it's a reality for these families. It's a reality for them. And so they definitely need our support. They need our help. And they need our support. And, Oliver has lived far longer than the doctors will have told his parents to expect when he was born. He's now 31, which is, I think, quite unusual for this very pernicious disease. But he has now been diagnosed with the skin cancer, which accounts for a lot of people with EB. And it is, I'm afraid, a terminal diagnosis. The parents won't have been surprised. They will have been expecting this. They're very stoic people. They're very brave people, Sarah and Mick. And it's a very, very worthwhile charity, guys. It's called DEBRA UK. They're all over the world. There's 5,000 people in the United Kingdom with EB. I don't quite know how many people are around the world, but there is a lot of effort going into DEBRA to try and spread awareness. So you're using the hashtag tonight is very powerful for DEBRA. There's 800 people on this quiz, just having a bit of fun wherever you are in Australia or Los Angeles or Dubai, doesn't matter. But you're tweeting this evening, you're using the hashtag is very useful for DEBRA because it's creating awareness, particularly associated with Tom, because of course he has an enormous following. And that's really where we are, guys. We can't support all the charities that make overtures to the Brothers Trust because we don't have the funds, nor the administration to administer it, But DEBRA means a lot to Nikki and I and to the boys. And we're certainly going to continue to support them. Okay, so do try and find the blog. It's on the Brothers Trust website as well. If you can't find it on my blog, it's called come on people.
Easy to find it on the Brothers Trust website.
Nikki tells me it's easy to find on the Brothers Trust website. So brotherstrust.org.uk under blogs, and it's called Come On People, Let's Do This. And that means a sort of call to arms. Come on people, let's help DEBRA. Let's spread the word. Okay. So a massive thank you to anybody who's already texted this evening to 70450 using the hashtag Charity DEBRA. Your money is incredibly necessary to help the families. And just to give you, which I think is I've never forgotten this. I called Mick one year. We were having another screening of Spider-Man. Another film had come out. I can't remember which film it was. But I said to Mick, hey, Mick, listen, we're having another screening, and we would love for you to come along. Now, the cinema involved gave us the screen for free. Very kindly, they're called the Olympic Cinema in Barnes, in a posh part of town. They said you can have the screening for free, but you'll have to come before we normally open. So we normally open at 11. So you guys have to come at, say, starting at 9 o'clock, start your movie at 9. And Mick stopped me. He said, Dominic, we can't come, because I told him it was 9 o'clock. And I said, oh, what, you busy that weekend, Mick? And he said, no, Dominic, it takes 5 hours to get Oliver ready for a day. 4 to 5 hours. And Sarah, his mum, bears this burden. And I just thought, my God, we've all got kids. We all struggle to get them ready in the morning. Where's the clothes? Where's your shoes? Where's your toothbrush? 4 to 5 hours to get Oliver ready. So to get to the screening for 9 o'clock, he'd have to be starting to get starting to have his dressings taken off and redressed. And that really struck home to me. the ardor of having a child with EB and how much support they will need, how much help they will need for the dressings, for the just where can they go on holiday, you know, the vehicles they need to adapt to be able to put these kids in the cars without them being hurt. So I've never forgotten that, guys. Okay, so that's really my blog in my words, just speaking now as I'm thinking, but they're a bit more measured when I write. So do try and find the blog, guys, and have a read, and then you might feel inclined afterwards to go and visit DEBRA, visit their website. And if you can't contribute, of course, that's understandable. These are straitened times, but you might, you know, write a blog yourself. You might share it on Facebook. You might share the blog with your friends. Say, have a read of this. Okay, so I hope you've, that's not too mawkish. It's an appeal for you, for your attention and your time. And, so Wendy's told me, Wendy said that they've shared the link to the blog on Twitter. So if you go to Twitter now, to DEBRA UK, Wendy has shared the link. So you can not now, in your own time, guys, you can read the blog and then share it, because the more people who read it, the more chance DEBRA have of raising funds. And just finally, guys, it's not just salving the pain. They are actively working with clever people in white coats to cure this bloody awful disease. So they're working on very advanced cell technologies to come up with, there are medical trials already ongoing. They're very expensive to conduct. And so we do need funds, guys. Okay, so I think without further ado, we're going to carry on with this extraordinarily taxing quiz. Don't forget you're playing for a book. So use your hashtag for DEBRA UK quiz, whatever it is. What is in it? So use that, put your photographs of your team and your team name, and I'm going to select a winner. And I'm going to send you the book signed by the boys. So keep doing that, guys. Keep texting if you can. I'll be very grateful. Thank you very much indeed if you've done that already.
Texting to 70450.
70450 with a hashtag.
No, not with the amount.
Oh, yeah, no, the amount and then DEBRA.
So,
or DEBRA, then the amount.
DEBRA, then the amount.
Then the amount. Perfect. Okay, guys. Right. So I'm going to carry on. I have another Christmas round for you. Who played Scrooge in the Muppets Christmas Carol? Who played Scrooge in the Muppets Christmas Carol? Famous actor, not Dom Holland. Famous actor, much more famous than Tom. Proper actor, proper star. Okay. What is the best-selling Christmas song of all time? It's not Last Christmas. It's much more famous than that. What is the best-selling Christmas song of all time? Okay, if you were born on Christmas Day, 25th of December, what star sign would you be? Nikki, what star sign? Don't tell me. What star sign is 25th of December? Okay, so that's three quick questions on Christmas there, guys. Now it comes to a really cunning little round called Real Names. How are the following pop stars better known? Peter Hernandez. You can see why he changed his name. We saw him live. Peter Hernandez. It wouldn't work, would it? It worked for Peter Andre.
I think I know.
Peter Hernandez. Oh, look, this is debuting the new Brothers Trust mug here. It's all about DEBRA tonight. Peter Hernandez. Okay. What is he better known? Number 2, Catherine Hudson. Catherine Hudson. Catherine Hudson. And then finally, Michael Owuwu, O-W-U-O, Owuwu Jr. Michael Owuwu Jr. How are those three people better known? There are 2 little rounds there, quick fire rounds for you guys. So we're going to go to the answers. Are you ready for the answers? Who played Scrooge in the Muppets Christmas Carol? It was, of course, Michael bloody Caine. Michael Caine. Got the ugliest voice in the world, Michael Caine. And somehow managed to become a star. Must be a brilliant actor with that voice to become a movie star. What is the best-selling Christmas song of all time? Best-selling Christmas song of all time. Bing Crosby. Everyone covered it. It was, of course, White Christmas. White Christmas. And if you were born on Christmas Day, the 25th of December, what star sign would you be? You would be, Nikki?
Oh, is it Capricorn?
I'm embarrassed that my wife knows that. It's Capricorn. How did you know that? How did you know that?
My dad's born on the
Ah, okay. Capricorn, yeah. I don't believe in all that stuff, but there we go. Nikki does. Real names. Who is Peter Hernandez? Peter Hernandez. Nikki?
Oh, is it Bruno Mars?
Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars. He's from Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah, he's from Hawaii, yeah. Catherine Hudson?
Kate Hudson? I don't know.
Kate Hudson. No, that's actually what it says. Katy Perry.
All right.
Katy Perry. And finally, Michael. There you go, Nikki. You've met him, Nikki. Michael Owuhu.
I've met him.
Yeah, you met him. The other day we met him. Michael Owuhu. We met him in the park.
Singer?
With his two dogs.
Oh my God, I can't remember.
I can't remember. We met him the other day in the park. Famous singer with two dogs. God, you're early onset. Nikki, we're diagnosing Matt. We should have a
Where is it?
Stormzy.
Oh God.
Stormzy. Michael Owuhu Jr. is better known as Stormzy, who's a UK grime artist, I'm told. Grime artist. Okay. So, jot down your answers, guys. It's only for fun. I know you're Googling away, aren't you?
I didn't get it.
Why?
You said it was a singer.
Very rude. Nikki's been very rude. She's saying he's not a singer. He's a rapper, isn't he? I don't think he'd be very appreciative.
Rapper, he's not a singer.
Okay. Sporting numbers is the next round, guys. Sporting numbers. Very UK-centric, but I'm sure a lot of people from the UK. How many teams have won the Premier League? How many teams have won the Premier League? One for the dads, maybe? How many teams have won the Premier League? You all know some of them are more obvious than others, but you should be able to get, I would say, all of them. I'm going to give you bonus points for if you get them all right. How many balls are on the table at the start of a snooker match? And how many balls are on the table at the end of my snooker match because I've given up? It's such a hard game. It looks easy when you see it, you think, oh, I'll game it that. How many balls start a game of snooker? And finally, what is the minimum number of darts required for a regular 501 leg? So the minimum number, what's the best checkout in darts? If you follow darts just about to start with no audience, what is the point? The best completion of the dartboard, 501, how many darts? Okay. Now we come to my wife's favorite round. It's phobias. She's got loads of them. Phobias. One of them is talking in public like this, which is why she's sitting there. What are you afraid of if you suffer from agoraphobia? Agoraphobia. Number two, arachnophobia. Arachnophobia. And I'm not sure that's right, actually. Arachnophobia. And then number three, acrophobia. Is that right?
No, that's not
acrophobia.
Right.
We have a bit of a dispute here. We are not the question setters or the adjudicators. Or the adjudicators. We are just I'm just the voice here, guys. So, but I think there's an error here. But it doesn't really have much bearing because we're only playing for fun, guys. It's just an inclusion thing. We're spreading the word about DEBRA, and we're creating a little family for you all. Okay, so that's the end of that 2 rounds there. Sporting numbers. How many teams have won the Premier League? Of course, it is 7. 7. Manchester United, of course. Arsenal, of course. Remember the team that didn't lose once in a season, didn't lose at all in the season. Man City of late, winning of late. Leicester City, of course, because that's the complete anomaly. Who knew? Who put money on that? Liverpool, just last year. And who forgot Blackburn Rovers with Alan Shearer? Blackburn Rovers, that might be in the curveball there. Okay, how many balls begin a game of snooker? It is 22. 22 balls begin the game of snooker. And the best checkout in darts is 9-dart. They call it the 9-darter. If you want to go, and not now, but go on YouTube, the 9-darter. It is remarkable what these fat men can do. And then phobias. Phobias, what are you afraid of if you suffer from agoraphobia? It is open spaces. I used to have a joke in my act. What happens if you suffer from agoraphobia and claustrophobia? It means you have to live in a doorway. Used to get a big laugh. That's when I started my career. That's why I didn't make it. That's the standard of my jokes. They were not great. And then this is the contentious one here, guys. They've changed it, you see. Deborah have changed the answer on the WhatsApp. You see, they've changed it. You see, that's how, you can't get anything past me, Deborah.
Creates tension.
Creates tension. They were probably really upset. And arachnophobia is the fear of course, we saw the movie, right? It's spiders. It says snakes here, but it is spiders. And
What is the phobia of a snake?
What is the phobia of a snake? Nikki's going to Google that. Nikki's going to Google it. She's so busy.
Phobia.
And finally, acrophobia. Nikki, acrophobia? Fear of what? Acrophobia. Why are you wearing a bobble hat?
I was going to walk the dog. And then
She tests me to walk.
I know.
Acrophobia. Heights. Heights. That's why Nikki's not scared of me, because I'm tiny.
No, so fear of snakes is ophidiophobia.
Ophidiophobia.
Very similar to acrophobia.
Ophidiophobia. So someone in Deborah now, how did you get that wrong, guys? Okay, so that's great. That's great. Now, we're coming up to an hour. I'm happy to stay, guys, but my ladies at Deborah, very, very fastidious about time and what have you. So I want to make sure how many more rounds you want me to continue on doing, girls. You let me know. I'll just crack on though. We're going to do an authors round. But actually, we'll definitely do 2 here, definitely. So authors, guys, are you readers out there? Okay. Name the authors of the following children's books. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. One of the great children's books, really. He was a very clever storyteller, this writer. And he leaves a very famous legacy of, forebears, people since him, ancestors. That's the wrong word, isn't it? The people before, but since then, they're famous people with his surname. Treasure Island. Who wrote Treasure Island? Very famous book. And finally, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. Do you know what? Winnie the Pooh, I think that that's raised more money than Mickey Mouse or any animated character. Winnie the Pooh for the family of this guy. So bless him. My granddad wrote bugger all. But it's a brilliant legacy he's left his family. And then parts of the body. Parts of the body, nothing crude, nothing vulgar. You can relax with you've got your children here. How are the following bones better known? Patella.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Patella. Scapula. Scapula. And finally, coccyx. Coccyx. Okay, so how are they better known? So three questions, 3 answers before we get to the raffle. And your prizes as well. Your prize for the best name, and I think the girls are going to choose one. They're probably monitoring social media. Hashtag, guys, use that hashtag DEBRA UK or DEBRA Charity. Please use the hashtag, and do remember our text possibility to donate as well. So name the authors of the following books. Charlie and Chocolate Factory was written, of course, by Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl, a remarkable writer. And then Treasure Island was written by Robert Louis Stevenson. Very famous book. And finally, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, the family of this man must be forever in his debt. It is A.A. Milne. A.A. Milne come up with Winnie the Pooh. And then parts of the body. The patella is the kneecap. It's the kneecap. The scapula. I don't think I would have known scapula. Nikki, scapula?
Is it in the ear?
Okay, Nikki thinks it's in the ear. It's the actual shoulder blade. So that'd be very painful. If it was in the ear, you'd be deaf as a post, which maybe Nikki has got because she's actually deaf, or she ignores me anyway. And finally, coccyx, Nikki.
Oh, base of your back.
Tailbone.
Yeah.
Okay, Nikki maybe could recount a story when she was snowboarding. And let's do one more round. Let's do that one more round, shall we, guys? One more round before we get to the meat. Okay, it is an art round. Art, we love our art. Who painted the following? This is a first one. It's easy. It's the Mona Lisa. Who painted it? Who painted it? Extra points for the year. More difficult. Second one, Starry Night. Who painted the Starry Night? And third one, I'll say everyone should get really is the Scream. Who painted the Scream? Much stolen. I think it's one of the most stolen paintings, the Scream, but always recovered because it's actually not very good. So the first one, Mona Lisa, was written by Leonardo da Vinci, of course, the famous Italian. And then we've got Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh, or Van Gogh, however you prefer to pronounce that, and The Scream by Edvard Munch, who I believe is Austrian. I'm not entirely sure, but he's Edvard Munch, and he painted The Scream. So congratulations to everybody. I really hope you've totted up your answers. You've conferred. I don't know how we're doing with our entries close at 8:30 for the best team name using DEBRA Big Quiz. So hashtag DEBRA Big Quiz. Then you can choose the raffle winner. Okay, so I don't know how many we've got in for that. Probably better, guys, at DEBRA if you choose the winner, because I am not over the social media. So if you can choose a winner and let me know, and then I will announce to you the first winner of that, because they're closing at 8:30. So if you haven't done it, you've got a couple of minutes to do it just quickly now. So hashtag DEBRA UK Big Quiz, the name of your team, and a photograph would be a good idea as well. Then we can put it on DEBRA's social media and we can share it and tweet it and retweet it for you. So you might become famous as well. Look at this new mug, isn't it fantastic?
Let's do a DEBRA one as well, one year.
We're going to do a DEBRA mug one year. So this is for Alex's Wish. It's a charity we support, but we're all about DEBRA tonight. We are going to do a DEBRA mug going forward, but this is a prototype just arrived today from our Staffordshire potter. They're all made in England. We love the idea that they're made in England. Not much is made in England anymore. So we kind of wanted to have them made in England, and we're going to send them all over the world in the new year. Okay, so I hope you've sent those in. Thank you if you've done that, guys. I hope you've really enjoyed it. It's a fantastic charity, and everyone says that. And of course, there are so many laudable charities and so many worthy causes, and you can't support them all, and we understand that entirely. But if you are looking for a charity you'd like to support, then I can certainly commend to you DEBRA. I've got to know Mick and Sarah a little bit. They've been in touch with me today, send me some words about Oliver to say that it's tough for him. Christmas is coming. But they're a stoic family and they're a lovely family, and they've definitely been benefiting from DEBRA and the support that DEBRA can give to their patients, including Oliver Thomas, who lives locally to me in London. Okay, so I think we have a winner of the best prize.
Best name.
Best name, yeah. Can you announce the raffle? Oh, can we announce the raffle winners now? She wants me to do that now. Okay. I can do that now, of course I can, but we did it by I've got it up here. We did it by a random selector. Okay. Have you given me the price? Have you given me the because I know we did the numbers earlier on, but have you given me their names? I'm looking here. Okay, I have the winners, guys. The winner of the book that will be signed by the boys is 614. So if your number ticket is 614, I'm going to send you a copy of my new book, which is a hardback. It's a lovely little book, and it's going to be signed by Tom, Sam, Harry, and Paddy. So that's winner 614 wins that book. Congratulations. Thank you for being here, number 614. But the winner of the first prize, 2 tickets to attend a screening in London, Nikki, yeah?
It'll be in London.
It'll be in London. We don't know when, guys, because we're obviously subject to restrictions. But the winner is Adam Davis. So wherever you are, Adam, congratulations. Number 770. You are the winner. Deborah.
Australia.
We don't know where you're from, Adam, but Deborah have your details. We have a proof that the thing was done by a random number generator, and we're going to put that. That's available to you guys if you'd like to see it. Just so you know, it was all done above board and is correct. So 770 is the ultimate winner. Congratulations to Adam Davis. Well done indeed, sir. We'll look forward to seeing you. We'll host you. We'll make you feel very welcome. And the winner of the book is 614. I don't know your name. I apologize, but Deborah do, and they will let me know the address. And I have some more messages coming through. And so for the best quiz names, we have some great names like Casper's Crackers. Well done, Casper's Crackers, and Christmas Puddings. But the winner is Walt Quisney is the winner. So well done to Walt Quisney. Very imaginative. Well done. And Rebecca is the winner. We will contact her soon. So we'll send you a book as well, Rebecca, that I'll get the boys to sign. I don't know when I'll get them to do that, but when they're all home, I'll get them to do that. We'll whack it in the post to you, and you'll have a nice book, a nice little present that you can show your friends, because it'll be a unique book, because it's only those 2 books are signed by the boys. So all that leaves me to say, guys, sorry, 614 is Soraya Shiraz. So you'll be getting a book as well. It's to say thank you very much indeed for being with us, okay, this evening. It's been an unbelievably unusual year. Let's hope there's never a year to repeat it. Everyone's been very, stressed by the year and what have you. Jobs have been lost, and obviously people have been unwell. But charities need our support. And so these are great events at this time of the year to get together some people. Hopefully some of you tonight will know a little bit more about Deborah, how the Hollands got involved. Do go along and read the blog, guys. It's on the Twitter Deborah site. So you can link to the blog whenever you fancy, maybe later on tonight when you're going to bed, have a read. There's pictures of Oliver there. It is an extraordinary story of bravery and love. They're the 2 things: Oliver's bravery and endurance, and his parents' love, and his lovely sister as well. So have a read of that. I'd be very grateful to you. You can go to debra.org.uk. It's a fantastic place to visit, to get involved. They'd love to hear from you. It's been great fun being on this quiz. When they asked me to do it, it was not even something I needed to consider. It was just a yes. And fortunately, every night of mine is free because there are no gigs. So happy Christmas to you all. I've really enjoyed chatting to you all. I wish I could have an interaction, but we can't, of course. As good as technology is, it does have its limitations. So happy Christmas, everybody. Wherever you are, have a nice time with your families. Thank you for your support this evening. And we'll see you on the other side. Many, many thanks. Happy New Year to next year, and we'll see you again. Best wishes. Dominic Holland signing out. Bye-bye.